Welcome to Emerald Lace. This is a really neat little ornament because I've learned to do a lot of really interesting things this time. I've got this little harlequin pattern in the middle that I've got shiny with clear dots and things like that. And to do that, we came up with a unique little set of tools here. And I'm missing one. And these are fabulous for putting the lines on. I'm going to show you how to use these and to make all the measuring on lace easier. Alright, so as I've been trying to get my pattern on here, every time I tried to get my pattern right, I could measure evenly, but I couldn't get my diamonds to go straight up and down. Okay, so after talking with our design team, then we came up with a series, a couple of little tools here. This little guy right here will give you the ability to mark on the top and in the middle and underneath, and then change the sizes to make perfect upward pointing diamonds in the middle. And then these little guys, they have little thumb holders, are good for if you want to trace lines going in whatever direction. You can trace on either side, and they're just sized so that they are 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/2 inch, so that you have some measuring tools that you can use that are exactly the size, and they're just long enough so that they don't quite start creeping and bowing. And then this little guy is pretty amazing because he's actually pretty flexible as well. So he'll actually kind of resize as you need it to. Okay, after doing this, let me bring you in. I've got my little sample bowl here. After doing this, you can do, by skipping the lines, and I'll show you how to do that, you can make big diamonds, and by not skipping the line, you can make really tiny little diamonds. Okay, so the way you're going to do this, and I'm going to show you on this, and then I'm going to come over here. I want to just kind of show you the play. All right, so what I want to do is I want to line up this top line with my line there. Okay, and you might need to, if you're going all the way across the span, you might need to bow it up so that this is lifted just a teeny bit. And then when you go, you're going to make just a little dot in each of these. And then you can alternate and put your alternating dots in each of the little holes. And so that's how you're going to build the whole thing, is you're just going to go alternating steps. Now if you want to make it tiny, you're going to go down here and you're going to put your next line in to these little dots down there. If you want to make it bigger, you're going to drop down and you're going to center the center dots into those little cutouts. And you're going to get it a little bit bowed so it's straight. And then wherever they're at, and I've got to turn this so I can see, we want to do the alternating. So every two. And I would think that this would work as well for you to do every skip 4 and make them even bigger. Okay, so, and then we go and we line it up, and then we do the alternating. Okay, then you come back over here. I'm going to use this little straight edge here, and then you're going to come over, and I need to go further down, but I'll do it on there and I'll show you. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to just make my straight lines and make my other straight lines. And in theory, you could do some at the top and some at the bottom, and then just go all the way down. Okay, so I'm actually going to play with that next and see if that actually pans out doing it right here. Okay, that worked like a champ. So I've got upright diamonds all the way across just by doing the first couple rows. So you do as many rows as you feel like you need to do. If you aren't good at lining things up and estimating, then just go ahead and do all the rows, and that'll be perfectly fine. I'm going to take the little tool. I'm going to set it right up there on that top line. Okay, I'm arching it just a little bit so that this piece is raised just a teeny bit. It's easy enough to do if I just kind of push on this with my hand. And then I'm going to do my alternating. I'm going to start down here, whoops, every other one. Then I'm going to come down and let this little cup area fill in. And then I'm going to figure out where my alternating is, and I'll do the alternating. So wonderful to have a little measuring device. So this perfect little way to get all your little, measuring going without pulling your hair out. I was really pulling my hair out trying to do this. It was really bad. So this makes me feel so good that I've got an easy way to accomplish something that needs to be fairly technical and correct. Whoops. Be careful, they shoot off. Alright, so now I've got my dots on and I want to report. So I work a little bit more fluidly if I'm not on camera, so I went ahead and did my dots all the way around, and it took exactly 2 songs on my iTunes playlist. So that's how long it took to do the dots all the way. And one of the things that I learned is that the closer you are to the middle of your ornament, then the easier the dot tool works, because you're not having to flex it up as much. So keeping these cascading diamonds and stuff more towards the middle is going to be really, really helpful. Oh, and the other thing that you can do with this, you don't have to alternate. Let me see if I can pick it up. If you did them in a row, in a row, in a row, in a row like that, then you could have straight lines going down. For example, for this ornament, I made a lot of straight lines, and these little tools right here would have been extremely helpful to make very straight lines and evenly spaced lines. And oh, hang on. So these tools always just kind of start as one thing and then they develop, which is what's happening in my head right now. You could very easily make your marks to make evenly spaced triangles as well. So I've got a double band of triangles there, in addition to my band of lines that I could have evenly lined. And you could also use the same little dot tool to evenly space your dots however far around you want to make them. So lots and lots of great uses for this. You don't just have to make diamonds with them. So now what I'm doing is I'm using this thing that looks, hey, a little bit like a snoring thing. And and it actually has little lines that go across it too, so that you can line up and make sure that you're at the right angles and stuff like that. So I'm doing 2 things here. Number one, I'm anchoring my hand here on my my tool, and then I'm making sure that my line is straight against the line it's next to and straight on to the dots. Now I'm wanting to see how far down I want to take this, so I'm wanting to see if these are finished diamonds or not. And my hand has a tendency to run off, so I'm going to have to make sure that I'm compensating for that. Okay, so I'm going to have a half here and a half here, so I think that I'm probably just going to leave it at that, and that'll be enough. If I wanted to continue past and make them be more, then I could certainly run it down